أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون أياما معدودات. فمن كان منكم مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر، وعلى الذين يطيقونه فدية طعام مسكين، فمن تطوع خيرا فهو خير له، وأن تصوموا خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون. شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان، فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصمه، ومن كان مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر، يريد الله بكم اليسر ولا يريد بكم العسر، ولتكملوا العدة ولتكبروا الله على ما هداكم ولعلكم تشكرون. وإذا سألك عبادي عني فإني قريب أجيب دعوة الداع إذا دعان، فليستجيبوا لي وليؤمنوا بي لعلهم يرشدون. أحل لكم ليلة الصيام الرفث إلى نسائكم هن لباس لكم وأنتم لباس لهن، علم الله أنكم كنتم تختانون أنفسكم فتاب عليكم وعفى عنكم، فالآن باشروهن وابتغوا ما كتب الله لكم، وكلوا واشربوا حتى يتبين لكم الخيط الأبيض من الخيط الأسود من الفجر، ثم أتموا الصيام إلى الليل، ولا تباشروهن وأنتم عاكفون في المساجد، تلك حدود الله فلا تقربوها، كذلك يبين الله آياته للناس لعلهم يتقون. So these are the ayat of Surah Al-Baqarah from verse number 183. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, believers, kutiba alaykum as-siyam. Fasting is prescribed upon you. Kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum, as it has been prescribed upon the people before you, la'allakum tattaqun, so that you can acquire taqwa. So this is the lesson to explain the ayat of the fasting and the ruling regarding it. So the first thing, which is Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, this is an address for all the believers. And then this fasting is a faridah, is an obligatory act. It has been obligated upon you. And don't say that it was something hard only upon you. No, even the people before you, we have prescribed fasting upon them. So it was known to the Christians, it was known to the Jews as well. But there might be some differences in the time of the fasting or in the way of fasting. But fasting by itself, that was known to them. And then the objective of fasting is given, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, so that you can acquire taqwa, you become muttaqi. I have explained this word taqwa in my Jummah khutbah as well, but just as a brief reminder, the man is made of two things, created of two things, body and soul. And you have to care for both of them. Just caring for your body throughout the year, feed your body, provide good drinks to it, make fabulous, but no soul in you, no iman in you. It means no strength in you at all. You might be a soldier, you got an armament in your hand, a pistol in your hand, but if there is no inner strength in you, you may not use it when you see your enemy. You become coward at that time. So the strength of body and the strength of soul both are required. Strength of body, you know it well. So this is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that how to strengthen your soul, and that is by fasting. Because fasting is going to get you something called wiqaya or taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Taqwa is just like in physical word, just like a brake in the car. If you have to stop the car instantly because of anything in front of you, you can apply your brake. And then you keep yourself away from the danger, from the accident. But if there is no brake, just imagine a car which is going speedily on a highway with no brake at all. What is going to happen to it? Fatal accident. In the very same way, for the soul, there are moments when you have to say to your soul, stop. You can't do that. You are tempted to any evil, and you have to say, no, you can't do it. So this is wiqaya, which fasting is going to develop in you. Now, with your own will, you don't eat, you don't drink throughout the day. Even you are hungry, you are thirsty, and mashallah, you are in such a country where there is no hunger, no thirst at all during the fasting. And it is the time of winter as well. But just think about summertime. Yes, summertime is hard because it is too long in this country. But the summertime in Middle East, that is very hot as well. So people become thirsty. Still, you say to your nafs, no, you can't drink until the time of breakfast. So this is the training which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to have because of fasting. It makes you a very, very strong person. A strong person who can face all the hardships of the life. Ayyam ma'dudat, they are limited days. How many days are in the fasting? How many at the most? 30 or 29. So the month is either 29 or 30. So these are ayyam ma'dudat. They are counted days. Some people would say that ma'dudat is a plural, feminine plural, and it is jam'u salim. So it is used for at-taqleel, for few things, ma'dudat for few things. But let us see, in comparison to the reward which is given for fasting, the reward is so enormous that we can say that these are only 30 days, just few days, 30 days, but the reward is too much. So it is still very few days, not many days. You will see that there might be two sayings in one ayah in tafsir, and you have to give preference to one to the other. So the one interpretation is that in the beginning there was another fasting which was obligatory upon the believers, 3 days fasting each month, 3 middle days of each month, Ayyamul Bid. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the second year of Hijrah made fasting an obligatory act, 3 days fasting was abrogated. No more 3 days fasting as an obligation. Yes, it is recommended, still it is recommended. And the same thing is said about Ashura, the fasting of the 10th of Muharram. In the beginning it was obligatory, but later with the command of fasting it has been abrogated. So that is one opinion. But it appears that the second opinion, or the first opinion which I have said earlier, that fasting itself is Ayyam al-Madudat. There are very few days, because it has been made obligatory. And to say that 3 days fasting was obligatory, that is not proved by any authentic ahadith. They are saying by Abdullah ibn Abbas, saying about by some other Sahaba, but it is not something authentic. So these are few days. فَمَنْ كَانَ مِنْكُمْ مَرِيضًا أَوْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ فَعِدَّةٌ مِنْ أَيَّامٍ أُخَرٍ. So if someone from among you is found to be ill or traveling, فَعِدَّةٌ مِنْ أَيَّامٍ أُخَرٍ, so it means that he can do iftar, he can break his fasting. He may not fast, but he has to compensate in later days. Similar days which he has missed, he has to fast once again. So this permission is given for 2 types of people: the person who is ill and the second who is traveling. And here once again comes a lot of difference of opinion among the scholars. What type of illness? Any illness which is too much, and because of that illness a person, if he fasts, he becomes uneasy. That type of illness, or any illness? Naam, what do you say? Any illness or cancer only? Cancer patients? Naam, migraine patients? Naam, any other bad illness? Of course, if that illness is so severe, then you are not going to fast. But anyhow, if a person got pain and he is feeling that pain, if we can say that this person is ill, in Arabic marid, it means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given this permission. It is said about Muhammad ibn Sirin. Muhammad ibn Sirin is a successor, is a tabi'i, and he is very much known with the interpretation of the dreams. Muhammad ibn Sirin. So one day he was not fasting. Why you are not fasting? Muhammad bin Sirin, such a great tabi'i. He said, I got pain in my finger. And then he did not fast. It is also said Imam Bukhari, that he was visited by Imam Ishaq ibn Rahway. They heard that Imam Bukhari is ill. So they came to visit him. And it was the month of Ramadan, and Imam Bukhari told them that he is not fasting because of that illness. And he said, illatun khafifa, that it is not a very serious illness, it is ordinary illness. So it means that this is a permission which is given. Later Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in the very same ayah, wa antasumu khairun lakum, if you fast it is better for you. So it is up to you to decide. If you can fast, all right, you should fast, because later you have to fast. And it does not mean that if you don't fast in Ramadan, later you are forgiven as well. No, you have to fast. Some people would say that why not should I fast now? With all the people, it becomes, you got more courage. When you see all the people fasting, you are inspired by them and you fast as well. So it is good to fast in Ramadan, even if you are ill. Or ala safarin, or you are traveling. Once again, there is this debate about safar, about traveling. What type of traveling? What type of traveling? If you are traveling to another country, only Morocco, Algeria, Libya, Egypt, Pakistan, Bangladesh, yes. That is long traveling. You must break, long fasting. I mean long traveling. So there is no doubt about that. What about if you are fasting to Bedford, to Leyton? No? Why? Too close. So brother does not agree with me. He says it's too close. Bedford is too close, so you must not fast. So we have seen in the ahadith of the Prophet ﷺ few incidents which show that the Prophet ﷺ has traveled to Usfan and he broke the fast. He did not fast. How far is Usfan? And in the very same way some other destinations are mentioned. So they measured it, they say that they are about 4 barid, arba burud, 4 barid. And 1 barid is around 12 miles. So the 4 barids becomes 48 miles. 48 miles? Which miles? Because this meal, the word meal is mentioned in the hadith as well. إِذَا سَافَرَ ثَلَاثَةَ أَمْيَالٍ. So amyal and meal, it was an Arabic word. So meal was known. So so the meal of the Prophet ﷺ is not exactly the miles of our times. So we know the mile in our times, the distance, how much is the distance of 1 mile. And they have tried to find out a similarity between the mile of the Prophet and our miles. So it came to, after research, we came to know that the mile of the Prophet ﷺ a little bigger, a little longer than our miles. So if we say it is 48 miles, like 4 barid, so that is one measurement to find out in which traveling you can break your fasting and you can shorten your prayer. So this 40 miles criterion is accepted by many jurists, fuqaha, among Ahnaf, Hanafiya, also Hanabila, and also Malikiya and Shafi'iyya. 48. Normally 48 is accepted by a great number of the people. So if Leyton is not 48 miles, then you have not to break the fast, you have not to shorten. But that is one criterion in the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. But there is something else, that إِذَا سَافَرَ ثَلَاثَةَ فَرَاسِخَ قَصَرَ. The Prophet ﷺ, when he traveled 3 farsakh, he used to shorten the prayer. 3 farsakh. So 1 farsakh is 3 miles. That is established. 3 farsakh is how many miles? 9 miles. So 9 miles of the Prophet ﷺ time, because we said that our mile is shorter than the mile of the Prophet ﷺ. So 9 miles of the Prophet, you just say, make it like 12, our 12 miles. So if we take this criterion, brother, listening, if you take this criterion of 12 miles, so you can shorten when you go to Leyton, Bedford. It is 12 miles or less than 12 miles. Luton. Huh? Luton, not Leyton. Luton is around 30 miles. No, it's 30, more than 30 miles, Bedford. So if you take this criterion of 3 farsakh, then if you go to the distance of 12 miles, for example, but one condition is very important, you leave your own town. After leaving your own town, then count these 12 miles. Even 12 miles is a lot. Why? Because during the time of the Prophet ﷺ, there was no cars, and even no bicycles, let alone trains, let alone planes. So people, either they have to go walking or on the back of a camel or a horse or a donkey. Yes? So it is very hard, even 12 miles, it is a long distance. 12 miles is a long distance. This is the other opinion. And then there is the third opinion, that Prophet ﷺ is a safara salasata amyal hasara. If he travels three mil, then he used to shorten. So, but there is a doubt from the reporter: is it salasata amyal or salasata farasakh? Is it 3 mil or 3 farsakh? Both. So let us take the higher opinion, or the higher distance, which is 3 farasakh. So I don't go for 3 miles. I don't go for 3 miles, but I will say that take 3 farsakh narration. 3 farsakh equal to 9 miles, which is equal to our 12 miles. So this is good for shortening the prayer, because London itself is a city or is a country. London is too big. It's too big. If you travel from north to the south, yes, it might be around 20 to 40 miles, 40 miles. But you may take an hour, more than an hour. So this is why London is divided into how many boroughs? Your geography, I should check your geography as well. How many boroughs? Yes. 14 boroughs. Who got the exact knowledge? How many boroughs in London? Very good. 30? 32, yes. 32 boroughs in London. And just to make yourself remember this number 32, I tell you something about our language, Urdu. So, how many teeth in the mouth? How many teeth in the mouth? 32. And 32 we say in Urdu, batisi. Battis, 32. Batisi means the person with 32. So remember this batisi. Remember always this batisi, that is 32. So London itself was 32 boroughs. Why they have to divide it into 32 boroughs? Because they can't handle the whole country, the whole London, if we take it as just one unit. So there must be 32 units. Each unit got its own town hall, its own cabinet, its own mayor. So that is good. So why not you take that each borough, that is your place where you live. So if you leave your borough, I would say, if you leave your borough and keep on traveling more than 12 miles, it is up to you. It is not a wajib upon you that you must combine your prayer or shorten your prayer. It is a rukhsah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this rukhsah you can take it. In the same way fasting, for fasting you can take this rukhsah or this permission, but I would not say to you that you must do it. But in some cases people are so tired when they travel from one part of the London to the other part of London that they can't even pray each prayer in its own time. So if they start Zohar time, they will reach about after Asr time. So it's better to combine and shorten. So this is why we say, and that is the opinion of Imam Ibn Taymiyyah, وَعَلَى safarin. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, and the person who is on traveling. He did not say from here to 12 miles or 56 miles or 48 miles. Anything which is known as traveling, that is to be taken. So if you think that going to Leyton is traveling, if you think that it is traveling, then you got this permission. And if you think that it is not traveling, because the committer, those people who keep on committing, commuting, the person who is commuting from Leyton to London every day for his work, for him it is not a traveling. But traveling means that you take some luggage with you, a bag with you, so that is a traveling. So if this is commuting is not a traveling, so we can say that if a person is commuting from a town nearby to London, he may not have this permission. But on the other hand, if a person who does not commute and he wants to go to visit a friend in a place which is farther than 12 miles or 15 miles, it's up to him. If he wants to take this permission, he can. Now the third thing is here, وَعَلَى الَّذِينَ يُطِيقُونَهُ فِدْيَةٌ طَعَامُ مِسْكِينٍ. And those people who got the ability to do it, they can give a ransom, a fidya, which is feeding one miskin. Now here there is a lot of difference about this ayah, that who is given this permission? Those people who got the ability to fast, they can give a fidya, a ransom of feeding one miskin. So one opinion is, once again two opinions here. One opinion is that it means that in the beginning, when the fasting was prescribed, it was allowed that the person who got the ability of fasting, yutiqunahu, he got the ability of fasting, but he does not want to fast, he can pay fidya, feed one miskin, and that is acceptable. But فَمَنْ تَطَوَّعَ خَيْرًا فَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لَهُ. But if he does more, means not feeding one miskin, more masakin, فَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لَهُ, that is good for him. وَأَنْ تَصُومُوا خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ, and if you fast, that is better for you. إِن كُنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ, if you know that. Now this tafsir seems to be, or this opinion seems to be, not giving much importance to the main ruling about the fasting. The ayah begins with that fasting has been an obligatory act upon you. Kutiba alaykumus siyam, kutiba alaykumus siyam. And then it says about a person who is ill and who is fasting, that only for him is the permission not to fast. But it does not say that he can feed the miskin. No, he must fa'iddatun min ayyamin ukhar. He must fast other days. Saying like this even for a person who is ill and suffer. And then it says, وَعَلَى الَّذِينَ يُطِيقُونَهُ, those people who got the ability and they are allowed to feed one miskin. So it does not correspond with the beginning of ayah. So this understanding does not correspond or does not fit with the ayah itself. So there is another variation of this ayah, yutiqunahu, which is yutawwaqunahu. Yutawwaqunahu. So according to this another narration of this ayah or other version of this ayah, it means those people who can hardly fast, yutawwaqunahu. It becomes like a tawq in their neck. It is just like a ring, an iron ring in their neck, and it becomes too much for them. وَعَلَى الَّذِينَ يُطَوَّقُونَهُ, those people who feel a lot of hardship in fasting, for them there is a way out. فِدْيَةٌ طَعَامُ مِسْكِينٍ. That is the ransom to feed one miskin. So who are those people who can fast, but it becomes too much for them? Like a very old person. Any old person who can't fast, it becomes too much for him. Yes, he is allowed to feed one miskin instead of fasting. Like a woman who is pregnant, if pregnancy is such that she can't fast or she can't feel lot of hardship in fasting. And in the same way, the woman who is suckling the babe, al-murdi'a. So this woman, if she thinks that it is too much for her, then it is also allowed for her not to fast but to give fidya. So the meaning would be وَعَلَى الَّذِينَ يُطِيقُونَهُ فِدْيَةٌ طَعَامُ مِسْكِينٍ, that those people who got a lot of hardship in fasting, they are allowed to give fidya, which is a ransom, and that is ta'am miskin, to feed one miskin for each missing fasting days. Now, Anas ibn Malik, who was the servant of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Khadim Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was at age 110. See, age 110, he said, now I can't fast more. So he started feeding the miskin at age 110. There were people like this as well. So now people, they start from 70 that we are exempted from fasting because we are too old. No, 70, 80, and even I would say 90. And if a person thinks that he can fast, and especially now in winter, he should try. And if he is stuck, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given him permission, yes, break your fasting. Now the people are asking such questions. Do you know what type of questions they are asking? They are asking about the students, that they have to sit in the exam and they have to prepare for the exam, and this is why they can't fast. Do you think this is a valid excuse for not fasting? And what is the relation between fasting and preparing for exam? Yani you must have your drink with you and food with you to prepare for examination, for test. I don't think so. So this is not an excuse at all for such students who are saying, oh, we have the exam, so this is why we can't fast. It may be in summertime. If the fasting was in June and July, long day, 18 hours day, so it's at that time it could be a relief for them. So فَعِدَّةٌ مِّنْ أَيَّامٍ أُخَرٍ, they can fast in other days. We will say no, not to feed the miskin, that because feeding the miskin is for such a person who who feels lot of hardship in fasting, like old person and the other example which I have given to you. Any other person who does not fast, either because of the long day or because of the hard work he is doing, then he should fast in other days. وَمَنْ تَطَوَّعَ خَيْرًا فَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لَهُ. So this part of ayah, that a person who gives more than what is required of him, that is tatawwu. So he is required to feed one miskin. So instead he feeds 2 masakin, 3 masakin. فَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لَهُ, that is good for him. وَأَن تَصُومُوا خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ, but still fasting itself is good for you if you fast. In kuntum ta'lamun, if you know. So that was about the ruling about the person who is ill, who is traveling, and very old person, and a woman who is pregnant or suckling the babe. So all these persons are covered under this ayah. After that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Shahru Ramadan alladhi unzila fihi al-Quran. This is the month of Ramadan in which Quran has been revealed. Hudan lil-nasi wa bayyinatin min al-huda wal-furqan. It is a guidance for the mankind evidences of guidance and a criterion. فَمَنْ شَهِدَ مِنْكُمُ الشَّهْرَ فَلْيَصُمْهُ. So first part is that this is the month of Ramadan in which Quran has been revealed. It means the revelation started in the month of Ramadan. What was the first revelation? What was the first revelation? Iqra. Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq, khalaqa al-insana min alaq. Iqra wa rabbuka al-akram alladhi allama bil qalam, allama al-insana ma lam ya'lam. So these ayat were revealed to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The day was 17th of Ramadan, the month of Ramadan. At that time fasting was not prescribed. Fasting was prescribed in Medina. So, but it was the month. Month was known to the Arab that it is Ramadan, month of Ramadan. So 17th of Ramadan, when Jibreel came to him and revealed to him these ayat. So the revelation started in the month of Ramadan. And in the same way it is said, Inna anzalnahu fi Laylatul Qadr. Wama adraka ma Laylatul Qadr. Laylatul Qadr khayrun min alfi shahr. So it means that this revelation also, this according to this ayah, it was a night of dignity, night of qadr, night of power, night of dignity. So whether it was 17th or in the last 10 days of Ramadan, no, because 17th is an odd number. It could be Laylatul Qadr as well in the knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we must understand that it means the beginning of Ramadan is in Ramadan. And then 3 characters are given of Quran. Hudan lin-nas, it is a guidance for the mankind. How to live, how to behave, how to do worship. All such acts which we need in our life are explained in Al-Quran. Inna hadha al-Quran yahdi lillati hiya aqwam. This Quran guides to the best of the guidance. That is one thing. And second thing, وَبَيِّنَاتٍ, and there are evidences of huda, evidences of that guidance. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not only said to you that do this and do that, sometimes He has given evidence for that. For example, the evidence about resurrection. Resurrection is mentioned in Quran many times, and then so many examples. Because people in Arabia, they used to deny it. They say, how, once we die, how can we be resurrected? It is impossible. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given the example of the earth. You find the earth dead, and there is no hope that it is going to grow once again. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends water, rain water, and then it becomes live once again. So the same way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives life to the earth, He can give life to the dead people. So this evidence is given in many places in the Quran. In the same way, there are other evidences of all our beliefs which are given in Al-Quran. وَبَيِّنَاتٍ مِّنَ الْهُدَى وَالْفُرْقَانِ. Third thing is Al-Furqan. Furqan means فَرَقَ بَيْنَ الْحَقِّ وَالْبَاطِلِ. Criterion between what is good and what is bad, what is evil and what is righteousness, what is haqq and what is batil. Arab people, they did not believe in resurrection. So the haqq was that resurrection is haqq, is to happen. And what they believed, that was batil, that was falsehood. So Quran is the criterion between haqq and batil. وَبَيِّنَاتٍ مِّنَ الْهُدَى وَالْفُرْقَانِ. فَمَنْ شَهِدَ مِنْكُمُ الشَّهْرَ فَلْيَصُمْهُ. Any person who witnesses this month, he should fast. Why this ayah is repeated? Because in the first ayah, it has already been said that فَمَنْ كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. It has been said there, but now here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying once again, فَمَنْ شَهِدَ مِنْكُمُ الشَّهْرَ فَلْيَصُمْ. The person who is shahid. Shahid means that he was not traveling. He was not traveling, and he was in his health. He was in his own town, and then he finds that he is in the month of Ramadan. So he is the shahid for the month of Ramadan. He should fast. He should fast. because the permission is given to whom? Who is either traveling or he is ill. But the person who is not traveling, who is not ill, and then he finds himself in the month of Ramadan alive, he must fast. That is a command. فَلْيَصُمْهُ وَمَنْ كَانَ مَرِيضًا أَوْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ فَعِدَّةٌ مِّنْ أَيَّامٍ أُخَرٍ. And if he was ill or traveling, then he has to compensate for the other days. So this ayah, that ayah is repeated. The person who is ill or traveling, he should fast for other days. So we can say that there was some concessions which are given in the first ayah, that ayah which says that وَعَلَى الَّذِينَ يُطِيقُونَهُ فِدْيَةٌ طَعَامُ مِسْكِينٍ. And for such people that who can hardly fast, they can give fidya. And we have given the example of those people who are very old, or the women who are pregnant, or they are feeding the babe. So this was already explained under this ayah. And here, وَمَنْ كَانَ مَرِيضًا أَوْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ فَعِدَّةٌ مِّنْ أَيَّامٍ أُخَرٍ, because the commandment was repeated once again. If you are alive in this month and you witness this month, you must fast. But there is still a permission for the ill person and the traveling person. If he does not fast, he can fast in other days. يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ بِكُمُ الْيُسْرَ وَلَا يُرِيدُ بِكُمُ الْعُسْرَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants easiness for you, and He does not want any hardship for you. Now this is another principle of Sharia. We have taken this principle from Al-Quran, that this Sharia is based upon yusr, upon easiness, not upon hardship. So if a person is facing hardships in fasting, there is an alternative. He can fast other days. For some other people who can't even fast in other days, there is an alternative. He could feed one miskin for each missing days. So this is the yusr, or the easiness of the Sharia. In the same way, in praying itself, if you can't pray standing, then you are allowed to pray sitting. You are allowed to pray even if you are in your bed and you can't even pray sitting, then you can pray while you are lying in the bed. So this type of yusr or easiness is given in Sharia. The Prophet ﷺ sent two persons to Yemen to preach and to collect zakat, and they are Muaz ibn Jabal and Abu Musa al-Ashari. And when they were about to depart, the Prophet ﷺ came to them and gave them this nasiyah: yassira wala tu'assira. Yassira, make things easy for the people. Wala tu'assira, don't make it hard upon the people. Bashira wala tunaffira, give good news. Don't make them run away from the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this tasir is the part of Sharia, and in so many rulings which are given to the people, or which are known as fatwa, we have to take this principle and allow this principle to work, that if there is any chance of any easiness, then we should provide that easiness to the people. But to what extent, that becomes a very difficult question, because now some people, they are asking, in summer months, if fasting comes in summer months like June, July, how many hours is the fasting in our country? Around 18 months. Around 18 months. In summer months. Not now. Now it is only 13 hours. Sorry, I'm saying 18 months, 18 hours. 18 hours. And now it is 13 hours. So 18 hours, how many people die by fasting 18 hours? No, nobody dies. So we fast. Many people fast. If you go further in the north, then where in London sun sets at around 9:25 or 9:20 in summer at the most. But in Glasgow, it becomes 10 o'clock, sunset. Go further north, you go to Oslo, Norway, so it sets about 10:30. Further you go at 70-degree latitude, then it may be 11 o'clock. So if it is 11 o'clock sunset, then sunrise would be within 2 hours. 1 o'clock it will rise once again. So that is the question which is coming from those countries. That what should we do? If we break the fast at 11 o'clock, then we have to break the fast, take our suhoor, pray Maghrib, and then we have to pray Isha, then we have to pray Tarawih as well, then we have to take suhoor as well. Within 2 hours we have to do all such things. So can you allow us any easiness? If you are a mufti, what fatwa you will give? If you are a mufti, for example, what fatwa are you going to give for such people? They say we got only 2 hours for all these things to do. But we have said that as long as the signs which are given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for fasting, beginning of the fasting and the ending of the fasting are very clear, then we can't give any easiness at all. Now, the time of beginning of the fasting is Fajr, and that is known to the people. And breaking the fasting is sunset time, that is also sun seen to be setting. So we can't say that sun has not set yet, and then you allow the people to break the fast. Seems too difficult. So till now, no council has given this fatwa, but people are still asking for this fatwa. Maybe people coming after us, they would allow. So you have to wait. You have to wait for that time. Of course, if it is, if you go above 70 latitude, then there are days when for 4 months there is sun always on the horizon. Another 4 months, darkness on the horizon. For such places, hadith of Dajjal is enough. Because in hadith of Dajjal, the Prophet ﷺ said, when Dajjal comes, he would remain for 40 days. He will remain in this earth for 40 days. First day would be as long as 1 year of yours. Second day as 1 month of yours. Third as 1 week of yours. And other 37 days, they would be normal days. So normal days people would pray as they are praying now. But what about if the day becomes so long as equal to 1 year time, or 1 month time, or 1 week time? So the Sahaba Ridwanullahi Ta'ala alayhim asked this question. How we are going to pray and fast in such a long day? So the Prophet ﷺ said, "Uqduru lahu qadrahu." You have to estimate. You have to estimate. So it means that if the sun is there for 1 year or for 6 months, then you say that there is a unit of 24 hours now, 24 hours day and night. So in 24 hours, make 8 hours for your sleep and 16 hours for your day. In this way you can fix the timing of the prayer and the timing of the fasting as well. So this could be done. But anyhow, in other matters, يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ بِكُمُ الْيُسْرَى. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants easiness for you. وَلَا يُرِيدُ بِكُمُ الْعُسْرَى. He does not want uneasiness for you. وَلِتُكْمِلُ الْعِدَّةَ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants for you to cover all the missing days, so you can complete the number of the fasting days. So this ayah suggests that the person who have missed some fasting, he must fast other days, لِتُكْمِلُ الْعِدَّةَ, to complete the counting. And then وَلِتُكَبِّرُ اللَّهَ عَلَى مَا هَدَاكُمْ. And so that you do takbir of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as He has guided you. So this takbir, once the month of Ramadan comes to an end, comes Salatul Eid. And Salatul Eid, how How do you begin your Salatul Eid? With takbirat. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Even if you see your Imam saying takbir 9 times, that is the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And when you come to Eid prayer, you keep on saying Allahu Akbar on your way to Eid. So that is وَلِتُكَبِّرُ اللَّهَ عَلَى مَا هَدَاكُمْ, so that you make Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or magnify the status of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by saying Allahu Akbar, عَلَى مَا هَدَاكُمْ, that He has guided you. وَلَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ, and so that you become thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not say to you that we have to fast throughout your life. No, just 30 days. 30 days. So each good action is rewarded 10 times. 10 times. So if it is 30 days fasting, 10 times become 300 days. So this is why the Prophet ﷺ has added 6 more days of Shawwal. 6 more days of Shawwal. So 6 days of Shawwal, they also rewarded by 10 times. 6 days become 60 days. So 300 plus 60 becomes 360, around 1 year. So this is why it is said that the person who fasts Ramadan and then summa atba'ahu bi sittin min Shawwal, and then he follows it with 6 days of fasting of Shawwal, ka'annahu sama ad-dahra kullahu, as if he has fasted throughout his life. Each year if he does this practice, it means that he has been fasting throughout his life. So that fasting which is known to be fasting every day fasting, a person if he is so pious that he wants to fast every day, is it allowed? Prophet did allow that? Fasting every day? No? Yes, it is. He did not allow it. Yes, he did not. Abdullah ibn Amr ibn As, he asked this question, I want to fast every day. The Prophet said, no. He said, I can fast then more than that. He said, just fast 3 days of each month. So he said, I can fast more than that. Until he came to, the Prophet ﷺ said to him, then better Somu Dawood, fasting of Dawood alayhi salam. 1 day fasting, 1 day no fasting, 1 day fasting, and an alternate day. That is the most you can fast. But when he became very old, so he regretted this decision, Abdullah bin Amr. He said, I should have accepted the permission given by the Prophet ﷺ to fast only for 3 days each month. But now I made upon myself to fast in this way, Somi Dawood. And the people said to the Prophet ﷺ, but you fast a lot. You are fasting more than Dawood alayhi salam. So what was the answer of the Prophet ﷺ? He said that when I fast, there is my Rabb, Rabbi yasqini wa yut'imuni wa yasqini. My Rabb feed me and my Rabb will give me a drink as well. It does not mean that secretly he was getting some food and drink and he was, no, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him such a power, such strength that he could fast a lot and he does not feel hunger, he does not feel thirst at all. So we were not able to cover all the ayat, so because of the time. So if you got any other question about the fasting only, please ask, otherwise we have to end now. Any other question about fasting, if you have any doubt about any situation? Now? This what we were discussing, that those people who can't, who got the ability to fast, but they got much hardship in it. Now, do you mean that he can't even pray, because prayer should be with his senses? So there is no fasting, no prayer for him at all. He is not mukallaf. For mukallaf, you must be in your sanity. That is for a person who wants to pray. And for a person who wants to fast, ability to fast as well. So he got no sanity, no prayer. And no ability to fast. So he is not required to fast. He is not required to fast. So there is no fidya for him as well. No fidya. For the fidya is that he can do it, but he is feeling lot of hardship. But in this case, he does not know what is happening around him. Even if he prays, he does not know what he is praying, what he is saying. So such a person is not mukallaf. So he is omitted. He is excused from praying, excused from fasting. Now, yes. No. What? No, nothing. Because something which gives you some food to your body, like any injection which gives food or which is for nourishment, that is going to break the fast. But even the injection which is just against cholera, for example, from other contagious diseases, they are not nourishing injection, so they are not fasting. They are not breaking the fast. So the nasal spray, it does not break the fasting. If there is something spray for the mouth, then you have to see that this liquid goes to your throat or not. If it passes your throat, then it is going to break. Otherwise, it will not. Like inhaler. Inhaler is just air. So that is not going to break the fast. This is the same inhaler. No, it does not. It will not. Blood test. No, blood test comes under hijama, and there are many ahadith which say that hijama was allowed during the fasting. Hijama is cupping, and with cupping you extract the blood. But there is some ahadith which says aftar al-hajim wal-mahjum. Both the person who does hijama and the person to whom hijama is done, they have broken their fast. So they said that looking to all ahadith, we can say that if hijama makes the person very weak, then this type of hijama is going to break the fast, and he is allowed to break the fast if the situation is such. But if hijama is such that he got no effect on his health and he can continue, then he can do that. So the blood tests, they will extract a little amount of blood from you. That is not going to affect your life at all. Blood donation, that is something else. If you donate blood, there is a good amount of blood, and that is going to weaken your body. So this is going to break. Sallallahu ta'ala ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Thank you.